Hi viewers, you are watching Employee Turnover in HR Analytics. I am Mohammed Shkil Anjum. I am certified HR professional from HR Certification Institute with over a decade of experience in HR. In this video, I will talk about employee turnover and how can we measure turnover rate. Employee turnover rate, or simply employee turnover, is the measurement of the number of employees who leave an organization during a specific time period. It may be a month or year. Employee turnover is an important function of human resources. By measuring turnover, it can really help organizations avoid different costs like a replacement cost, training cost, cost of lost performance, or separation cost. For more details about costs, you can watch my another video. Turnover can be managed efficiently and effectively if measured successfully. So how can we measure turnover? Turnover is determined by taking number of separations during a given period of time divided by average number of employees during that period. So we use formula like this. So according to the formula, we need to have two pieces of information: number of separations in a given period and average number of employees during that period. So first we calculate separations of employees. Separations of employees may be voluntary or involuntary. In case of voluntary separations, employees leave organizations for some better job opportunities or maybe due to existing depressing working conditions or disengagement with current job activities. Voluntary separations may have different forms like resignation, retirement, death, or disability of the employee, while involuntary separation, which may be due to some economic reasons or restructuring. So normally the employees based on voluntary or involuntary separations are included for calculating turnover, while independent contractors and employees working on agency's payroll are not included for calculating turnover. And now let's take an example to calculate turnover rate. Consider that in a company A, during a month, two employees are on leave of absence and five are agency payroll workers, while three employees have retired and one employee has been terminated for cause. So based on the discussion, we include the number of employees at serial number C and D. So the number of separations are 4, which will be used for calculation of turnover rate in this example. Now the next step is calculation of average number of employees. We simply add the total headcount from each report run through the specific period of time, say on monthly basis, divided by the number of reports used to obtain average number of employees. Now consider the same example, company A. As we discussed earlier, this company runs headcount through its HRIS 3 times in a month, on the first day of the month, 15th, and last day of the month, and its headcount is 115, 124, and 129 on these days respectively. Now the company's average number of employees can be obtained by aggregating 3 headcounts divided by number of reports generated during that period. So in this example, company's average number of employees is 122.67. So in company A, there are 4 separations in a month and average number of employees is 122.67 during that month. Now we use the formula to find monthly turnover rate. We simply divide 4 by 122.67 And for this example, the turnover rate turns out to be 3.26%. Where some organizations calculate annual turnover rate. To explain this, let's consider an example of company B. In this company, 9 employees have left a company during a year, and the number of employees on the 1st January were 261, while at the end of the year the number of employees were 215. So the average number of employees during that year were 238. In order to find out annual turnover rate, we use formula for annual turnover rate like this. We divide number of separations, which is 9, by average number of employees during that year, which is 238. So the annual turnover rate for this example turns out to be 3.78%. Now let's take another example of annual turnover rate. In this example, we have 12 months data of company C with their headcount and number of separations for each month. Since company has 12 months headcount data based on its reports run on every month, so we aggregate the headcount for 12 months and divide it by number of reports, that is 12, to get average number of employees. So sum of headcount for 12 months is 3755, and we divide this by 12 to get average number of employees, which turns out to be 312.92, while total number of separations for the whole year is 62. Now we find turnover, in fact annual turnover rate for this company, and divide separations, that is 62, by average number of employees, that is 312.92, and then multiply it with 100 to get turnover rate in percentage. Annual turnover rate for this example turns out to be 19.81%. Well, this is how we calculate monthly and annual turnover rates. Whereas some organizations may also want to calculate year-to-date turnover rate. In order to determine year-to-date turnover rate, employer simply adds monthly turnover rates. For instance, if it is May and the employer wants to calculate year-to-date turnover rate, formula for year-to-date turnover rate would be like this. Year-to-date turnover rate would be equal to the sum of respective turnover rates of each month. Viewers, if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and click the bell icon. For more comprehensive details about turnover, you can watch my complete video on turnover, in which I have explained turnover in all aspects, that is turnover analysis, the reasons of the turnover, different costs associated with the turnover, voluntary and involuntary turnover. Thank you.